We love our tried and true favorites, our top rated picks, but 2026 has some cars on the way that we're really excited for. Cars will race at U-Drags, get dirty off-road, test the range, and of course put through our rigorous ratings system. Lots to talk about, let's get into it. We're Edmunds, and we test hundreds of cars each year on the road and at our private track, so you get the most trusted reviews. If you want to know which car, truck, or SUV is the best, then stick with us. The Acura RSX. This is an electric SUV from the company behind the Integra and the MDX. It was revealed as a concept last summer, that's what you're seeing here, but based on Acura's history and what we noticed with the lighting, the mirrors, and the glass, this is really close to what the production version is gonna look like. But we're not excited about it because it's a new Acura EV. It matters because it's the first EV built on parent company Honda's all-new electric platform. The RSX isn't even Acura's first electric SUV. That was the ZDX that came out in 2024, but that car was built through a partnership with GM. It was basically a reskinned Chevy Blazer. The RSX will be our first look at the future of Honda and Acura EVs, from range and charging to styling and software. And yeah, we'll put it through the Edmunds EV range test. Expect this one in the second half of 2026 and expect our review ASAP. We've always got the latest news, reviews, ratings, and rankings live over at the site to keep you up to date. But there's also a new EV coming from BMW, and I promise this video isn't all about electric SUVs. We've also got a 1200 horsepower Corvette to talk about. This one matters though. Put simply, the BMW iX3 is an electric version of the X3 that we've really enjoyed as part of our one-year road test fleet, but there's more to it. I'll let my buddy Clint take it from here.
So BMW has a lot riding on this for a few reasons. The biggest of which is this is a clean sheet redesign that brings us directly into the future of BMW. The technology you see in this car, the way it looks, all of that is eventually going to roll out into every car that BMW makes. And to put it another way, this is the biggest single investment the company has ever made into a new vehicle.
New tech, BMW's AI assistant, new interior, new styling. The iX3 is a window into what BMWs will look and feel like for the better part of the next decade. As soon as we get our hands on it, we're going to set up a comparison between this, the upcoming electric Mercedes GLC, and the Audi Q6 e-tron, and of course, put BMW's 400-mile range claim to the test. BMW says the iX3 will go on sale in the States this summer. Oh, and BMW is also bringing that tech and styling to a next-gen 3 Series, and yes, a next-gen M3, which we got a look at with BMW's Vision Neue Class and Vision Driving Experience concept cars. We're not sure if we'll get our hands on those ones this year, but we'll keep you updated when we know more. Price is always a question mark with upcoming cars, but we'll update you as soon as we know. And if you want to know what you should pay for any new car, we've got tools on our site to help you find the best deal. Then there's the 1,250 horsepower elephant in the room. The Chevrolet Corvette ZR1X. What is it? The short version is that it's the already bonkers twin-turbo V8 ZR1 combined with the Corvette E-Ray's electric motor driving the front wheels. When we drove the standard ZR1 last year with a mere 1,064 horsepower,
unleash the power!
It kind of blew us away.
I love the way it brakes, I love the way it turns, it's so agile, it's so responsive, it's not intimidating, and of course it hits incredibly hard.
It's the fastest gas-powered car we've ever run at U-Drags, and the ZR1X should be even faster. I mean, Chevy claims an 8.99 second quarter-mile time, which is quicker than even the Lucid Air Sapphire, currently the quickest vehicle we've ever tested, full stop. And they didn't just stick the E-Ray's motor on the front of a ZR1. Rather, the engineers boosted its output, plus they overhauled the already monstrous braking system, which should help when we take it out to U-Drags. It's also only a little over 200 grand. Only, I know. But if you compare it to other 1,000+ horsepower hybrids from companies like Ferrari, Lamborghini, or McLaren, you're saving somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million or more dollars. And it's cheaper than the 815 horsepower Mustang GTD. Chevy delivered the first ZR1Xs to customers at the end of last year, which means hopefully we'll get our hands on it for full instrumented testing and racing any day now. I'm looking forward to this one. Okay, this is more of an honorable mention, but look at it. The Fiat Topolino. It's not really a car if we're being so honest. It's more like a 2-seat electric mobility thing closer to a golf cart with a top speed of 28 miles per hour and a range of less than 50 miles. Listen, I know this car doesn't really matter, but I'm just thrilled that they're actually bringing something so cute and crazy to the US. If you got ideas for U-Drags pairings, perhaps a Moto Compacto, that Rivian e-bike, maybe Clint.
Not really.
Let us know down in the comments. Don't let the name fool you. The Mustang Dark Horse SC, SC for supercharged, is effectively a replacement for the old Shelby GT500. Now, we put a Ford Performance supercharger kit in our Mustang Dark Horse. Check out our dyno video to see how that turned out. But that doesn't make it a Dark Horse SC. This SC gets the supercharged 5.2-liter V8 from the GT500 along with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission instead of the 10-speed automatic. But the changes go even further. All Dark Horse SCs get upgraded suspension and braking components, plus an available track pack dials things up even further with more aggressive aero, carbon fiber wheels, grippier tires, and carbon ceramic brakes. The GT500 was an absolute king at U-Drags.
That never gets old.
And we can't wait to find out if the Dark Horse SC lives up to that reputation. Deliveries are scheduled to begin this summer, so we hope to get our hands on this one soon. GV90. Genesis has been around for over 10 years now, and we really like what they're doing. But they've never built a full-size 3-row luxury SUV. That changes this year, and it looks wild. This one hasn't been officially revealed yet, but we can get a really good idea of what's coming by looking at the Neoloon concept that came out in 2024. Pillarless coach doors, that signature lighting that Genesis has shown off on other concepts, cashmere upholstery. This thing is gonna be so rad. I can't wait to see more and hopefully get it in a comparison against other ultra-luxe electric 3-rows like the Cadillac Escalade IQ. No concrete timing on this one yet, but we do anticipate a reveal in the next few months, and that we'll get our hands on it later this year. Genesis will be busy this year too. We'll finally get to drive the GV60 Magma, basically a Genesis version of the Hyundai Ioniq 5N that we've had so much fun with at U-Drags and on the test track. Should be a good one. We've seen off-road EVs, we've even seen a Jeep EV, but this year will mark the first time we'll see Jeep apply its trail-ready formula to a battery-powered SUV. It's called the Recon, and we actually got a look at this thing late last year. It's super boxy and tough looking in person.
Kind of more butch, more off-road ready.
What's more, you can do that whole roof off, doors off thing that's a whole lot of fun in the Wrangler. And it's got some real off-road cred. You can get proper all-terrain tires, impressive approach and departure angles, and an electronic locking differential at the rear, plus a bunch of off-road ready drive modes too. We look forward to putting that stuff to the test on the trail, perhaps against another EV that we'll talk about in a little bit. The big downside here is range. Jeep is claiming a max of only 250 miles, which is pretty bad, especially considering there are competitors with over 300. We'll have to run it through the range test, who knows, maybe it'll overperform. We hope this one will be good. The Kia Telluride is going to be a big one. The first gen car was our top rated 3-row SUV for a while, and it's all new for 2026. The new one is going to be bigger with new styling and a new interior, plus it swaps that old V6 for a more powerful Turbo 4 or a powerful and efficient hybrid setup. I actually got a chance to go see the new Telluride in person, and if I'm so honest, I don't love the look. Yeesh, all that grille, especially of the X Pro, but the interior is awesome and it has a ton of space inside. Based on everything we know, this will be one of the best cars of 2026. And if you're planning on picking one up, we can help you find out what your old car is worth and get you an instant cash offer. Back to the performance stuff. It should be a big year for the Porsche 911. At the tail end of last year, we got a chance to go to Spain to drive the new 911 Turbo S, the now hybridized 701 horsepower, $300,000 everyday supercar of the 911 lineup. This year, we'll get our hands on the Turbo S on our own turf, which means instrumented testing and U-Drags as long as Porsche is down to clown. The big question mark is if we'll see the return of the GT2 RS this year too. The GT3 RS has always been Porsche's naturally aspirated track monster, but the GT2 RS is an even more extreme, turbocharged version that's historically been the craziest, most powerful version of the 911. It always comes toward the tail end of a 911 generation, and seeing as the current 992 gen debuted all the way back in 2019, and the last GT2 RS was announced 6 years into the life cycle of that Gen 911, you can see how the math adds up for a new GT2 RS this year, and we're excited for it. Viva la V8! Last year, Ram brought back the 5.7-liter V8 that was previously discontinued in the Ram 1500. The V8 is back, baby! And this year, we're seeing the return of the Hellcat V8 in the Ram SRT TRX. It now makes even more power and torque than the old Hellcat TRX that was discontinued after the 2024 model year. And, importantly, escalates the super truck wars by outgunning the Ford Raptor R's supercharged V8. That's what we like to see. Seriously though, we had a whole lot of fun with the old TRX, and we can't wait to get our hands on the new one when it arrives in the second half of the year. Off-road comparison? Definitely. And let us know if you'd want to see a truck like this at U-Drags. But that's not the only new powertrain Ram has coming in 2026. We've heard whispers about a long-range plug-in hybrid for a long time, and this year we'll finally get to see that setup, which is eventually bound for the Ram 1500, debut in the Jeep Wagoneer. We'll keep you posted with more details as they come out. One of the biggest releases of the year will be the Rivian R2. Rivian was the first car company to build a tough, off-road ready electric truck with the R1T back in 2021, and it followed it up with the excellent R1S in 2022. Those two are basically truck and SUV versions of the same car. But this year, we'll finally get to drive Rivian's next product, the R2. It's a smaller electric SUV, roughly the size of a Tesla Model Y, and crucially, it'll start at just $45,000. That'll make it a much more accessible product than the more aspirational $80,000 R1S. This could be huge for Rivian. They've proven they can build rugged, stylish, techy luxury EVs, but the R2 will be the test of if they can pull off that same formula at a more accessible price point and a much larger scale. The Model Y and Hyundai Ioniq 5 are two of our favorite electric SUVs right now, and the R2 has potential to be better than both of them. Keep an eye out for this one coming through in the second half of the year. We've got a bunch of ideas for this one too. Everything from our EV range test and a comparison against the Model Y to an off-road battle with that new electric Jeep. We might even add one to the one-year road test fleet. Who knows? And Rivian has the amazing looking R3 slated for 2027. Lots to look forward to. But if we're talking cheap EVs, we have to talk about Slate. This is the EV startup that burst onto the scene last year with a sub $30,000 super basic modular little pickup. And I mean super basic. Plastic body panels, crank windows, cloth seats, no infotainment. But the whole point is that it's a blank slate for customization. The company will offer a huge catalog of accessories for everything from power windows and heated seats to even an SUV conversion kit that adds a roof over the bed, rips out the firewall and rear glass, and adds rear seats. This could be a really big deal. Cars are expensive, EVs are expensive, trucks are expensive, everything's expensive, and no one in the industry is taking this kind of bare bones modular approach. Now, when it first debuted last year, Slate said it would enter production by the end of 2026. But as is always the case with first products from startup automakers and even some that aren't first products, there's always the chance that that date will be moved back. But as soon as we can get our hands on one, you can be sure we'll get it in for a range test and maybe a comparison with our one-year Ford Maverick. And who knows? Maybe we'll get one for the fleet and spend a year building out different configurations. I'm really excited for this one. If you like this kind of stuff, if you want to support us so we can make all the comparison videos and U-Drags and range tests we talked about here, the best way to help us out is to like and subscribe. And if you've got any ideas or if there are any cars you're looking forward to this year that you think we left out, let us know in the comments. We really do read them all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.